Most men wait for a woman to say she likes them. That's their first mistake. Women rarely confess their feelings outright, at least not at first. Instead, they speak in signals, gestures, and subtle moves that most men overlook. And here's the brutal truth. If you're waiting for a woman to spell it out for you, you'll miss every opportunity you've ever had. Science backs this up. Studies in social psychology reveal that up to 80% of human attraction is nonverbal, meaning that by the time a woman tells you she likes you, she's already been showing it for weeks, maybe months. The problem? Most men don't know how to read the signs. If a woman is into you, she won't always say it, but she will do these 10 things. Pay attention, because once you recognize these signs, you'll never miss another opportunity again. Sign 1. She finds excuses to be around you. Attraction isn't always loud. It isn't always obvious. Sometimes it's as simple as proximity. The way she lingers near you, the way she seems to appear in the same spaces as you, the way she positions herself just close enough to be noticed but not obvious enough to be called out on it. This isn't just happenstance, it's psychology. The proximity effect, a well-documented psychological principle, states that the more often we see someone, the more we start to like them. This is why people who work together, study together, or live near each other often develop deeper bonds, even if they weren't initially attracted. Women understand this instinctively. If a woman is into you, she will make sure she's around. At work, she's passing by your desk more than usual. At the gym, she suddenly starts working out in the area next to you. At a party somehow, she always ends up in your immediate space, even if there are 50 other people in the room. And here's the trick, it never looks deliberate. She'll make it seem natural, like she just happened to be in the same coffee shop, or she just happened to need help with something at work, or she just happened to choose the same social event. But let me ask you, how many times can something be a coincidence before it stops being one? The key here isn't just that she's near you, it's that she finds ways to stay there. If you move to another part of the room, does she follow a few minutes later? If you start a conversation, does she linger instead of walking away? If you leave, does she suddenly seem less engaged with what's happening? These are subconscious signs of attraction, ones she might not even realize she's doing herself. And if she combines this with sustained eye contact, that's your final confirmation. A woman doesn't repeatedly position herself in your space unless she's drawn to you. And once you recognize this sign, you'll start to notice it everywhere. Sign 2. Her body language gives her away. Words are easy to manipulate. A woman can say anything she wants, but her body will always tell the truth. Psychologists estimate that over 80% of human communication is nonverbal. This means that even when a woman isn't saying anything directly, her body, her eyes, her movements, they're all speaking for her. And if you know how to read them, you'll never miss another sign again. So how does a woman's body betray her attraction? Here's what to watch for. 1. Her feet point toward you. This is one of the most overlooked but powerful indicators of attraction. People unconsciously position their bodies toward what they want, and this starts from the ground up. If her feet are pointed toward you in a group setting, she's engaged. If they're pointed away, she's looking for an escape route. This isn't something people think about, it's subconscious, making it one of the most reliable tells. 2. She leans in when you speak. Imagine you're telling a story. Everyone's laughing, but she's the one who leans in just a little closer. Why? Because leaning in is a primitive bonding mechanism. When a person leans into someone else, it signals interest, focus, and comfort. It's the body's way of saying, I want to be close to you. Now contrast this with someone leaning away. Distance equals disinterest, proximity equals attraction. It's that simple. 3. She mirrors your movements. This is where things get fascinating. Mirroring is when a woman subtly copies your body language, gestures, or energy. And she won't even realize she's doing it. If you take a sip of your drink, she does too. If you lean back in your chair, she follows. If you cross your arms a few moments later, so does she. Why does this happen? Because mirroring is a biological synchronization tool. It's how people build unspoken rapport with those they feel connected to. And the crazy part? You can test this in real time. The next time you're talking to a woman, subtly change your posture, lean back, adjust your arms, or tilt your head, then wait. If she follows your movement within 30 seconds, her body is telling you what her words aren't. She's into you. Sign 3. She starts asking personal questions. A woman who's into you doesn't just talk, she asks, and not just any questions, personal ones. Are you seeing anyone? A classic. What kind of women do you like? She's testing her chances. What do you do when you're not working? She wants to be part of that time. These aren't small talk. They're probes. She's gathering intel, figuring out where she stands, and most importantly, seeing if there's room for her in your life. The biggest clue? She remembers the little things you tell her. You casually mention your favorite coffee. Next time, she brings it to you. You talk about a band you like. A week later, she brings them up in conversation. This is called selective memory bias, where people unconsciously retain details about someone they care about. If she remembers even the tiniest details about you, know this: you're on her mind more than you think. Sign 4. She gets jealous but hides it poorly. A woman who's into you won't always admit it, but her jealousy will expose her. She won't come out and say, "I like you, and I don't want other women near you." That would be too obvious. Instead, she'll mask her jealousy in subtle ways. If you mention another woman, her mood shifts, even if just for a second. If you're talking to a female friend, she suddenly joins the conversation. If she teases you about other women, there's a hidden edge to it, like she's testing you. This happens because, psychologically, jealousy is one of the strongest indicators of attraction. When a woman isn't into a guy, she doesn't care who he's talking to, but if she reacts, even subtly, she sees you as hers, even if she won't admit it yet. Sign 5. She plays with her appearance around you. Women are hyper-aware of their appearance when they're around someone they like. If she's into you, she won't just show up. She'll make sure she looks good when she does. Pay attention to these clues. She fixes her hair when she's talking to you. Preening behavior. It's subconscious. She applies lip gloss or lipstick in front of you. She wants you to notice her lips. She adjusts her outfit when she sees you, making sure everything is perfect. This is evolutionary psychology in action. Studies show that women enhance their femininity when they're attracted to someone, whether that's adjusting their posture, smoothing out their dress, or making sure you see their best angles. And here's a secret. If she goes out of her way to dress up when she knows she'll see you, it's because you're already living rent-free in her mind. Sign 6. She tries to impress you, even in subtle ways. When a woman is into you, she won't just exist in your world, she'll try to stand out in it. This doesn't mean she'll throw herself at you or make grand gestures. In fact, it's often the little things that reveal the most. Think about this. Have you ever noticed a woman casually mention her accomplishments around you? Maybe she drops a line about a big project she's working on, a skill she's mastered, or even a personal achievement. That's not just random conversation. That's her subconsciously signaling that she's valuable, capable, and worth your attention. This goes back to evolutionary psychology. Studies show that women, just like men, engage in subtle competitive behavior when they want to attract someone. They highlight their best traits, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally too. How does this show up? If she's into fitness, she'll mention how often she works out. If she's successful, she'll casually talk about her career wins. If she's funny, she'll go out of her way to make you laugh. But here's the key. She's not trying to brag. She's trying to stand out. And the biggest sign, she'll be looking at your reaction. She wants to see if you're impressed, intrigued, or drawn in. If you are, that's exactly the validation she's hoping for. Sign 7. She teases you, but in a different way. Flirting isn't always obvious. Sometimes it comes disguised as playful teasing. If a woman is into you, she won't just be nice and polite all the time. She'll mess with you. She'll mock your music taste, but with a smile. She'll make fun of something you wear, but her eyes say she likes it. She'll call you a bad influence, but still follow your lead. This is a classic push-pull technique. She's pulling you in with attention, but pushing you away just enough to make the interaction exciting and unpredictable. Why does this work? Because it creates tension. Psychologists call this playful antagonism. When people bond through lighthearted teasing, it's one of the strongest ways to build attraction without making things too serious. The real giveaway? If you tease her back, she doesn't get offended. She leans in even more. Because at that point, it's not teasing anymore. It's foreplay. Sign 8. She accidentally touches you. A woman can say anything she wants, but if she's touching you, that's her body speaking for her. And here's the truth. Women do not touch men they aren't comfortable with. If she's finding ways to make physical contact, no matter how small, it's rarely accidental. Touch is one of the most powerful nonverbal ways to communicate attraction, and when a woman is into you, she'll use it to build a deeper connection without having to say a word. So what does this look like? It might be subtle. A brush of her arm against yours when she's laughing at your joke, a light tap on your shoulder when she's making a point, or an innocent excuse to fix something on your shirt. Maybe she lingers just a second longer when handing you something, her fingers grazing yours in a way that feels deliberate yet casual. These moments might seem small, but they're loaded with meaning. Here's something fascinating. Studies show that even the briefest skin-to-skin contact can trigger a rush of oxytocin, the bonding hormone responsible for feelings of trust and closeness. This is why these little touches can feel electric, leaving you thinking about them long after they happen. Women instinctively understand this, even if they're not consciously aware of it. The biggest test? Try touching her back in a subtle, respectful way. Maybe lightly place your hand on her lower back as you guide her through a crowd, or touch her arm in response to something she said. If she flinches or pulls away, she's not interested. But if she stays relaxed, leans in, or even reciprocates with another touch, that's your green light. She's not just flirting, she's waiting for you to take things further. Sign 9, she finds reasons to stay in touch. Most men assume that if a woman is interested, she'll just text first. But that's not always the case. Instead, a woman who likes you will create reasons to keep the conversation going, without making it seem too obvious. She wants to stay on your mind, but she also doesn't want to seem too forward. One way she does this is by asking random questions she could easily Google herself. Hey, do you know a good coffee spot around here? She's not asking because she can't find one. She's asking because she wants to start a conversation with you. Another classic move? Sending you memes, funny posts, or inside jokes. Translation: I saw this and thought of you. This is her way of keeping a connection alive without making it seem like she's trying too hard. Sometimes she'll even update you on something completely unnecessary. So you know that song we talked about? I heard it again today. The actual update isn't important. It's the fact that she's using it as an excuse to talk to you. The biggest tell? She never lets the conversation die. Even if you stop responding for a bit, she finds a way to restart it. To her, even the smallest interaction with you feels better than silence. Sign 10. She opens up about her life and asks about yours. This is the final and most powerful sign of all. When a woman is truly interested in a man, she doesn't just keep things lighthearted or surface level. She opens up in a way she doesn't with just anyone. She starts revealing her deeper thoughts, emotions, and personal experiences, sharing the kind of things that require trust and vulnerability. This isn't just casual conversation. It's a sign that she feels a connection with you and wants to deepen it. A woman who's genuinely into you will let you see beyond her exterior. She may share her biggest dreams, the fears that keep her up at night, the ambitions that drive her, and even the struggles she faces, no matter how strong she may appear on the outside. She's not just talking to fill the silence. She's letting you into her world, and that's a big deal. This kind of openness isn't something women give to just anyone. It's a test of trust, a way to gauge if you're the type of man who can handle her true self, not just the version she presents to the world. It means she feels safe with you, and more importantly, it means she wants you to understand her. A woman who is falling for you won't just talk about herself, she'll also ask about you. And not just small talk, but deep, meaningful questions. She'll want to know, what's something you've never told anyone? Do you believe in love? What's your biggest regret? She's not just making conversation, she's searching for something real. She wants to see inside your mind, understand your experiences, and connect with you emotionally. For women, attraction isn't just about looks or charm, it's about the depth of connection they feel with a man. The more she learns about you, the more she feels drawn in. And the biggest sign of all? She remembers. The little details you casually mention, the childhood memory you shared, your favorite book, or the dream you said you had, she brings them up later. That's when you know you're not just another guy in her life, you're someone she's truly invested in. Most men go through life clueless when a woman likes them. They wait for her to say it outright, but attraction doesn't work like that. Women rarely express their feelings in words first. They show it in their actions, their body language, and their emotions. Once you start recognizing these signs, everything changes. You stop second-guessing, stop missing out on opportunities, and finally start seeing attraction for what it really is. So now let me ask you, which of these signs have you seen before? Drop a comment below and let's talk. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep psychological breakdowns like this. You won't want to miss what's coming next.